welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all having an amazing whatever it is for you. Sorry, I don't want to list things. I'm lazy. So today's podfic is another My Hero Academia podfic. Normally, what I do on this channel. Basically, I'm gonna explain a little bit before I start this. So, this fic is called Christmas Party. It is a part of a series that I'm writing. It's not a one shot or anything, but it's not okay. It's not a series. It's holiday specials. That's the series. So it's gonna be in a playlist called Holiday Specials on my channel because yeah, you understand? Probably. I hope you understand because I'm not explaining anymore. But yeah, so this was actually written. That's not a word. Holy shit! I'm so sorry. This was written the day after Christmas last year. So, yeah. It has been here for a while, sitting and waiting for me to read it. Then I didn't do it by the end of December, so like it was kind of like out of season, but like, who cares? I'm going to read it now because I'm locking in, guys. It is 12:26. Huh. Anyways, this fic is incomplete. I only have one chapter right now. I don't know how many there are going to be, but I know when it's going to end. Not the date. I mean, I know when in the story it's going to end. I hope you understand that. Anyways, I'll read the summary and then I'll read the first chapter. I hope you guys really love this. I don't know. I hope you guys like it. Because I really like the concept and everything. And so I really hope you do too. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna read. Summary. Izuku has to show up late to his school's Christmas party since he has a meeting at work. He tells Aizawa, and he says it's fine as long as he shows up. Izuku doesn't really care for the Christmas party since his father's a main sponsor for it, but he is still going since his boyfriend, Hitoshi Shinzo, is going. Yoichi and Kuro help Izuku at his meeting so he can spend the most time possible at the party. Nana helps Izuku choose an outfit since his uncles obviously have no style. When he shows up at the party, everyone's surprised by his entrance. Even his father. What was his entrance like? You'll just have to read to find out. Chapter 1. Problematic Problem Child. I knocked on the door to the teacher's lounge. It took just under a minute for Mike Sensei to open the door. He greeted me with a smile. Hey, Green Bean, he said, and I smiled at that. How can I help you? I need to talk to Aizawa Sensei, I said, still smiling at the voice hero. Okay, come on in, he said, opening the door wider so I could walk in. I did. He's just over there at his desk. I nodded and made my way over to his desk. Aizawa Sensei? I asked to make sure he was awake. What do you need, problem child? He asked, leaning back in his chair to look at me. Well, you know how the Christmas party's on Friday? I asked, smiling sheepishly. Yeah, what about it? He asked, eyes narrowed on me. Well, I know you want us to be there around 6, but I have to work late on Friday, and I don't get out until after 6, so I was wondering if that was okay? I asked, shrinking in on myself as Aizawa just stared at me. Problem child, where do you work that you can't get out of work until after 6? He asked, turning his chair so he was face to face with me. Damn it. Oh, I work at Koichi Industries. There's a meeting after my shift on Friday that's mandatory for everyone, I said, only telling half the truth. You work at Koichi Industries? He asked, raising a challenging eyebrow at me. I nodded. Aizawa said, That's fine, problem child, but you need to be there before 8. I smiled and nodded. Thank you, Aizawa-sensei, I said, and Aizawa just waved me off. Get out of here, problem child, he said, waving me towards the door as he turned his chair back to face his desk. I just smiled as I walked away. I honestly thought Aizawa-sensei would ask more questions than he did. I'm just glad he didn't, or else my teachers may have found out that I'm the owner of Koichi Industries. You played that well, Izu, a familiar voice said from behind me. There was no one else in the hall since classes let out half an hour ago, so I responded. Thanks, Yoichi, I said, smiling as Yoichi moved to float next to me. Yeah, you did great, kiddo, another voice said, moving to walk next to me on my other side. Thanks, kiddo. Honestly, I'm surprised I wasn't interrogated even more, I said, laughing slightly. They continued talking to me as we walked, and I was about to respond when I saw someone I recognized. I smiled. Hey, Toshi, I exclaimed, bouncing up to him. He looked up from his phone, and he smiled slightly, pocketing his phone. You sure do have a lot of energy, Izuku. Something good happen? He asked, taking my hand as we walked down the stairs. Yeah, I asked Aizawa-sensei if I'd be able to come to the Christmas party a little late since I have a meeting after my shift, I said, smiling. Ooh, look at these lovebirds, Ichi, Kudo said, smiling. I glared at him. Just like we were when we were their age, Yoichi added, smirking. I glared at him too. Oh, right, I forgot. You told me about that meeting. Did you tell him that you're the one running the meeting? Hitoshi asked, smiling at me. Nope, I said, popping the pea. Not today. I'm probably going to announce it at the party since my security wants to come with me because my dad's going to be there. Ah, that makes sense, Hitoshi said, squeezing my hand slightly. I don't want to see that bastard, Yoichi whined. I pulled out my phone. Oh, my uncle's calling me, I lied, pretending to answer my phone. I was silent for a minute before I said, Stop whining. If I have to deal with him, so do you. Plus, he's not going to be able to do anything while I'm there. Oh, so now you're pulling out the phone card. I see how it is, Yoichi said, pouting. Yeah, I love you too, I said before pretending to hang up. Sorry, my uncle was whining about my dad's existence, I said to Hitoshi. Hitoshi snorted. I'm guessing no one in your family likes your dad, he said, smiling. Nope, no one, I said. He killed the only person who loved him. It was my mom. Why do you just drop random trauma bombs on me, Izu? Hitoshi asked, genuinely concerned for my sanity. I don't know, I shrugged as we walked out the front doors of the school. Hitoshi sighed. I think you need a filter, he said, smiling at me. Probably, I said, smiling back as we made our way to the dorms. We walked in a comfortable silence the rest of the way to the dorms. When we finally got there, everyone was in the common room and talking very loudly. Eek! Mina exclaimed. I'm so excited for the Christmas party. I think everyone is, Kayoko said. And yes, I call everyone by their first names, but that's because they asked me to. Actually, I said, making my way to the couches with Hitoshi, not everyone is. Who isn't excited? Ochako asked, and everyone's eyes were on me. Me, I said. Everyone looked at me, shocked. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to hang out with everyone, but my dad's running the event, and I'm pretty sure everyone here knows how much I dislike my father. Plus, I'll be going to the party after my 13-hour shift since we don't have classes on Friday. 13-hour shift? Hanta exclaimed. Everyone's eyes were blown wide. Yeah, I have a 12-hour shift on days we don't have classes. But we have a meeting after my shift on Friday, so everyone gets paid for the extra hour that we're there. Everyone was silent for a minute. Where the fuck do you work, Izuku? Kachan asked, eyes narrowing on me. I work at Koichi Industries, I said, smiling. There was silence before everyone erupted with questions. I put up a hand, and they all quieted. My uncles ran the business, I lied, easily, knowing that Hitoshi was the only one in the class who really knew that I ran it. The business was passed down, and it was an easy way to get a job that would actually pay me since I'm quirkless and most people would reject my applications. Everyone was silent and looking around at one another. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Shadow said, Izuku, what do you mean your uncles ran the business? Don't they still run it? Oh, that's a good question, I guess. Oh, they died a few years back, I said, looking down at my feet. Kudo and Yuichi just cackled behind me while my class sat in shocked silence. Hanta spoke up. Didn't the company only open up a few years ago? I nodded. It opened when I was 7, and they died when I was 8. At least I got to see some of their success. You're being very blunt, Izuku, Yoichi said, smiling softly. There was a tense silence before Ezuro broke it with a sniffle. Izu bro, he exclaimed, pulling me into a hug. I smiled. I don't get how you just drop all of that on us without breaking. You're so manly, he exclaimed, as our other classmates joined in the hug. I smiled and hugged back. After that, we all just hung out in the common room and talked about the party. After a while, I told everyone I was going to get ready for work since my shift was starting soon. They all wished me good luck on my shift and said goodbye. I went upstairs and changed into some nicer clothes. They weren't my work clothes, though. My work clothes were in my backpack since I didn't want my classmates to see the expensive suit I wear during my shift. As I walked out the door, I said goodbye to my classmates. I made my way to the 1B dorms so I could change in Nato's dorm. He was in the common room, and he told me that the door was unlocked. I just nodded and made my trek upstairs. The only people who know my actual position at Koichi Industries are Nato, Hitoshi, Kudo, Yoichi, and Nana. Granted, only 2 of those people are alive, but Yoichi, Kudo, and Nana seem alive to me since I can still see and talk to them. What's my actual position at Koichi Industries? Oh, right. I'm the owner and founder of Koichi Industries. I started the business when I was 7, but I put it under Kudo and Yoichi's name since they're the reason I started it. The company was their whole idea. I only started it because it was their goal in life to run a clothing business together, and they weren't able to complete that while they were alive. So they wanted to be able to fulfill it while they were already dead. To be honest, it was way too easy to start everything as a 7-year-old. Kudo and Yoichi made designs, and I came up with a design for the building while also trying to get all of the correct paperwork filled out. By the end of the 2nd month of working on it, the building was being built, and by the end of the 5th month, the building was built and full of workers. I'd hired a bunch of my father's lackeys who hated him. See, I only surround myself with smart people. Anyways, whenever there was a meeting I needed to attend, and they asked where the owners were, I'd tell them that they were busy or sick. After a year of telling that lie, I started telling people that the owners died and they passed the business down to their nephew, me. Yeah, I'd say I was just a tad bit smarter than an average 7-year-old. Anyways, okay guys, sorry. I didn't mean to say anyways in that same voice. That's the end of that chapter. Oh my god, I love that. Anyways, that's a fic that I really like the concept of. The fact that Izuku can see ghosts, and it's not like all ghosts. He can just see Kudo, Yoichi, Nana. He can see them. I like that concept, and also the fact that it's like he's running a business, and he has been since he was 7. Because I said so. Well, I say ghosts. I'm joking. Anyways, guys. I think I have another podfic I need to film. I don't know how many of these I have left to do. Don't question me. I don't know. I think I have one more and then that's it. I know I have one more. So, it is currently 12:30. I need to finish filming these and get thumbnails ready. But that's all I have to do, and then I'll just post everything. I'll schedule the posts for everything later. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day, night, morning, evening, and I will see you in the next video.